You're listening to Silver Moments with Dr. Marsha Baltimore.
Hello. Thank you very much for coming back. The number here, if you want to talk to our banking specialist, is 1-800-336-2225. And we were talking now about the challenges of people living on a fixed income when they're trying to make the monthly payments for just living. And we had some ideas from our guests.
Right, and I think it's important to make sure that whatever type of investment you're looking at, that you get a second set of eyes looking at things for you.
That's good, that's good.
You know, anytime that you're looking to get any type of an increase on yield, you're looking at going out a longer period of time, or you're looking at added risk factors that go with that.
Yes.
So it's important, whether it's, you know, a family member, you know, you're obviously your banker, your attorney, your CPA. If someone's trying to sell you something that's not, you know,
it comes back to the question
If
of
it's too good to be true,
Right.
it is.
Right.
Not even that. It comes back to the question of you walking into an institution and them just pointing you and saying this is the right investment for you within the first 5 minutes of sitting down with somebody. It's important, and with today's resources, with as Bob touched on, with the internet and all that, you know, there's a lot of resources out there. Do your homework, understand what you're investing in. I think that's another thing. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and just really do your homework. Before we go on, I'd just like to say Happy Mother's Day to my wife.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice guy.
Hi to my kids out there, Thomas, Aiden, and Ella, and you know, hope all the mothers out there have a great Sunday this Sunday.
Oh, very sweet.
Thank you. That was nice. I'm a mother. I accept that invitation. Thank you.
But again, Paul, it's exactly right. If you don't understand the investment opportunity that you're looking at, then, you know, walk away from that, or get the right bodies at the table with you. And you need objective people who, you know, that aren't in the game, if you will. They are not trying to sell you something.
Yeah, it's using. I mean, in a sense, what we bring to the table again is understanding our clients and using us as a sounding board. You know, if they have somebody out there that's been handling their investments, it's great. You know, they've been doing well, but feel free to use us as a sounding board, saying, what do you think about this? What do you know about this? If we don't know, we'll tell you, or we'll try to get somebody that knows better than us to answer those questions. But again, that's what we're there for our clients. That's the part of our value in the relationship, is to call us and say, hey, what do you think about what I've been told? You know, recently we had a client come in, and he, at all the cocktail parties, hears about all the great investments that the hedge funds out there have made for him, and all he's hearing is these huge returns, and, you know, he wanted to jump on board with them, but, you know, we brought in a team of professionals who sat down and went through a plan for him. You know, it made sense for him, and we were able to come up with solutions that work for him.
That's good.
You know,
that's what your lady friend over there did for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Putting the two loans together was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, and there were, you know, other situations where people are considering insurance or annuities or things like
yes,
that.
That's right.
And although, you know, those, again,
They're useful for
yeah.
financial planning.
Right.
I want to give you some financial planning from 1929. That was a good year, right? Okay, here it is. There was a spokesman for the Bankers Consortium named Mr. Lamont, and he held a brief press conference. Quote, there seems to be some distress selling on the stock exchange, so far as we can see, said Mr. Lamont, calmly. Frederick Lewis Allen later characterized this utterance as one of the most remarkable understatements of all times. And that's what you have to watch for. This is 1929. They're putting their money in the stock market. Everybody's going into it. It's going up. It's going up.
Mm-hmm.
It's no
you
different than the
can't
housing
stop
market.
at it's going up. You have to know what's the alternative and how soon.
I think you have to have also a diversified portfolio.
There you go.
You can't have all your eggs
There you go.
in your house that you own and expect to reap the rewards. I mean, you saw it in the past 10 years what happened with equity lost in
Right.
America.
Right.
But as long as you have a sound plan in place and you diversify,
You have to
and
have
talk
your
with a
little
professional.
Safeguard.
Yeah. You always have to. No
Mine
one should
now
ever
is that
invest in
second
one thing.
house that I own free and clear.
Yeah.
That's forever. That's the most wonderful thing I could have ever had anybody help me with, and you did that, my dear. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
We'll have to go visit it because I don't live in it. I yield from it, but I don't live in it. All right, so that's it. I think we have to think about Mr. Lamont and his understatement.
Yeah.
And remember that, because it's not always a fact you're going to make the money.
No.
Because you don't know what the other guy's doing.
I mean, you look at it in clients. I remember back in the early 2000s when there was the dot-com, or prior to that, when everybody wanted 100% yield, return on their investments.
sure.
And, expectations were totally out of the ballpark, but that's what their friends and neighbors were doing. But it's sitting down, coming up with something that, will work for you. Maybe it's going to be the 6% yield that you look at and say, hey, over the course of 20 years, that'll work for my goal. Everybody would love to get that Apple from years ago, how much they would have made. But, you got to sit down with somebody who understands what you're looking at achieving and come up with a good plan.
And there are examples of that in the financial literature about companies who put their money on the line and backed it up and wouldn't buy for the clients. Those are the smart guys.
This is